use triple IIRO. We are committed for such type of webinar. Now I will introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Kamal Mehta, sir. Dr. Kamal Mehta, sir, is a senior academician and involved in teaching, research, and academic administration over 23 years. He is BTech MTech from NIT Raipur and PhD in computer engineering. His research area include design of low power circuit, bus including technique, biometric based information, encryption, development of parallel and distributed algorithm. Dr. Mehta also received prestigious Engineering Achievement Award 2012 in recognition and appreciation of his contribution in the field of computer engineering. The award was formally presented to him on December 2012 by Institution of Engineers Bhilai during Engineers Day celebration. He was also honored during Teachers' Day celebration 2010 in recognition of his leadership and outstanding academic contribution by Dr. Raman Singh, Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh State in 2010. Dr. Mehta has also published extensively in journals and conference proceedings. He has been principal investigator on extremely funded project by All India Council for Technical Education, AICT, New Delhi, India, 2009 to 2011. He was also involved with a research project funded by Space Application Center, Indian Space Research Organization, Ahmedabad, for disaster due to oil spill in the ocean surface. He served with reputed university like Nirma University, Ahmedabad, as a Dean School of Engineering, O.P. Jindal University, Raigad. Presently, he is working as Professor, Department of Computer Engineering, Narsee Monjee University, Shirpur campus, Maharashtra. He was also inducted by Department of Higher Education, Government of Chhattisgarh as a subject expert in branch computer science engineering for various occasions. He was member of Special Task Force, Technical University of Chhattisgarh, for designing of curriculum for UG/PG courses of computer science and engineering. He has been a member of Board of Study, Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering, CSVU, Technical University, Chhattisgarh. He is also member Executive Council of OP Jindal University, Raigad. He is life member of Indian Society for Indian Education, Technical Education, Institution of Engineers, Kolkata, India, Computer Society of India, and VLSI Society of India. He was elected member Computer Engineering during 2006 to 2008 Institution of Engineers, Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. He also is a recipient of a fellow member on 27 International Conference on Embedded System and Design, RightSide 2014, organized by Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai. Dr. Mehta also chaired many technical events at a national and international level. He is also a member management committee during 2010 13 to 2014 in the Computer Society of India, Bhilai. He is also associated with National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India to organize workshop and training programs to educate respondent victims for the disaster management during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, he will talking on how to write research paper. And now I take this privilege to cordially invite Dr. Mehta to start his talk. Please, sir, you now share your PPT. Now I am stopping my PPT, sir. Dr. Mehta, sir, now I am stopping my PPT. Please now you share, sir.
Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, okay, fine. Just give me a minute. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 second. Yes, visible, sir. Fine.
Okay, fine. So, good morning to everyone present here. And I would like to start my address with a sense of gratitude to Industry Institute Interaction Research Organization, IIIRO. And I feel honored to address in the webinar. It's really nice to see that Dr. Dubey, who is a founder of IIIRO, has taken such an excellent initiative to utilize the weekend in a very productive way. I really admire his effort to fetch the best during the lockdown period. So once again, I welcome all of you in the session. So the basic objective of taking this topic is, I feel that many people, those who are from the academic background, they are pursuing their research degrees like MPhil or MTech or PhD. And many of the faculty members, they are guiding or supervising the research degrees. So I thought to have something common, very common topic, which will be helpful to every participant. I was going through the previous sessions taken by the various speakers in IIIRO, and the topic was sometimes very much focused with technology like core engineering and applied sciences. But this topic is a very general topic, and the people from any faculty, could be from applied sciences or maybe from engineering, maybe from humanities, they can take advantage. So I just I just want to describe that the topic which I have taken is of important tips how to write a good research papers, and the reference I have taken is the Elsevier. So many of you must be knowing that Elsevier is a reputed publishing group. So any journal or any kind of literature which is published through Elsevier is having a quality standard. And if you have paper in the Elsevier journal, you will be appreciated in all the forums. So the tips which I have taken is from the literature of Elsevier and based upon my experience as a reviewer to the various journal editing board. So I came across various papers when I was reviewing it. I find that there are some common mistakes that the researchers commit while writing the paper. So with my experience as a chief editor, with my experience being at Elsevier Group, I have compiled here around 30 or 35 slides, which I'll be sharing with you. So I'll take approximately 1 hour to complete my portion. So the title is Tips to Write Research Papers, and the reference I have taken is the Elsevier. And the Mendeley is a software which was developed by the Elsevier Corporation, which many of you must be knowing that Mendeley is a virtual desktop which is used for making corpus of reference papers, and then you can organize your reference papers. You can put some comment so that you are comfortable to read the literatures, and then you can organize your whole research project. So objective of this talk is to enhance the quality of a research paper. Many times what I feel is the people, they have good contribution in the R&D, and they do good survey work, they do very good modeling work, and they do very good experimental work, but the reflection on the paper is not there. You have a quality, and you have a quality, and then you have a quality, and then you have done the experimental work, but you're not able to reflect the things into your research paper. So the first objective is we can enhance the quality of a research paper so that the publication is guaranteed by the journal that we are looking for. Just give me a minute. Hello, हाँ जी सर, मैं एक लेक्चर में हूँ, है ना, एक दो घंटे बाद फ़ोन करता हूँ. And second objective is to increase the chances of selection for the publications. Many times we write a paper which takes around 2 months and 3 months, and then we submit it for publication. After 5 months or 6 months, and sometimes an year, we get the rejection email that your paper is not selected for our journal. So that's a serious regret for our researchers to get rejection of your paper. So I just wanted to give you certain tips which will help the chances of getting the paper selection into target journal. Third is to increase the citations of a published paper. Sometimes what happens is our paper is selected, it is published into the good journal, but nobody is going to use it. So your research work, your modeling, your experimentation must be, visible to the other people, and they must use it for their research work. That is called as citations. So unless the paper is cited by the other researcher, like count is 100, count is 500, so we cannot say that our work is appreciable and it is a quality work. So we should get the chances of acceptance of a paper. It should be published into good journal. At the same time, the other people after publication, they should include your paper into their research article. So this is three objective, and I hope the objective and the overall context is clear to all of you. I'll be talking about 8 issues. It will start with how do you freeze and how do you write a title of your thesis, and then how do you narrow down to the specific technology. There are some issues, there are some kind of tips which we'll be following, and how to freeze a title of your paper. I'll be talking about how to write an abstract, how to write the important keywords, which are the essential part, and how do you write the introduction, methodology, and how do you write the references into your research article. So these 8 points are the basic points which one should follow while writing the research articles. And if you are able to incorporate 4 or 5, the chances of getting paper selection is quite high. So let's go ahead and start with the first topic. First thing is, how do you select a topic and how do you write the thesis statement? Thesis statement means thesis title of your MTech degree or your MPhil degree. So we will be acquiring MPhil. Sometimes we write thesis of your MTech. We write thesis of a PhD. So here I would like to talk on thesis statement and the title, and how do you finalize your topic selection. What happens is, if somebody is a beginner and planning to go for a PhD program or planning to go for MTech or the MPhil, what do we do is we have so much things into our mind. Okay, so we learn various things or we heard something. Okay, so if we heard something like cloud computing is one area to start your research work. We heard about the COVID pandemic impact if you are dealing with the humanities kind of psychology kind of area. So we heard various terms and then we have so many queries into our mind. So initially it is very much difficult to finalize the topic of your PhD. And I have seen that the researchers, they spend 1 year, 2 year, and more than 2 year also to finalize their topic to carry out their PhD or the MTech and the MPhil. So how to come out of this confusion state, and how do you pick up your topic and how do you write your thesis statement? So identify the area of your interest. That is first thing. The first thing is like you have to identify in which area you are having your interest. For example, I have interest on the hardware field. I'm not into the software field. I like to study the circuits. I like to study the hardware designing part. So that is my area of an interest. So you have to look at your area of interest in which topic you are comfortable. If not, there are various researchers, they do not know in which topic they are interested. I'm not able to find out in which subject, in which area I'm comfortable. In that case, you have to look at the resources available. I have seen various MTech scholars and the PhD scholars. They say, sir, I'm blind. I don't have any synopsis. I don't have any interest area. Now you guide me which topic to select. In that case, you have to look at the resources available. The resources could be your mentor, could be professor of your confidence, could be some of your relatives, could be some of your seniors, right? So resources could be any human being in your surrounding. So you can talk to those people and then you can pick up your topic. Second option is you can look at the hardware resources or the physical resources. Like if you are a student of MSc or a student of MTech and you are planning to pursue your PhD, look at your department, look at your institution. If you have any high-end laboratory, the high-end equipments into your institute, so you can plan accordingly. So if you are not able to find out area of your interest, look at the human resources and look at the physical resources around you. So that will give you some idea about which topic to carry on, which topic to pick up for your research synopsis. Third is very important, which I feel, okay. Whenever you look at yourself, you find that you have learned so many things into your post-graduation and you have heard about so many terms. So you have to discard the irrelevant topic. Once you are in the stage of finalizing your statement of a thesis or topic selection, you have to discard the irrelevant thing. For example, I want to carry my research on material sciences. Okay, I should not think about the impact of pandemic into the economical front. These two topics are entirely different. So whatever topic you are planning to propose as your PhD synopsis or your research synopsis, at the same time you have to discard the irrelevant things so that you are much focused and you are much uh, framed. Now, what are the techniques to select a topic and how will you come down to the a very narrow specific area of your research? First is the breadth. Start in a broader term and let your research work take you narrow down. That means if I'm talking about, say, the encryption, I want to work on the encryption. That is also called as a security. Okay, this is a very broader term. I want to do something on the secured communications. I want to do something on encryption. Okay, but I want to use biometric, my fingerprint, my iris images, my facial expressions, my face photograph. So I want to extract the biometric parameters to implement the security. So this is the broader term. And then biometric is a little bit narrow technology, which I will be using into my R&D work. So you have to start with the broader term, the broader area, then based upon the availability, based upon the technology and the tools which are demanded, we can go down into the narrow. Second is the originality. Sir, am I audible to you? Is it going fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please
Oh,
continue, sir.
okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Second thing is the originality. I have seen that many times the people they start working, but they bring up the existing fact which was given by the other researchers. So it should not be the replication of something which is done by the other researcher. The data is given by other people, papers are given by the other people. So we should add something new into the existing fact. So whatever the existing facts are, you should do some kind of research work, some kind of modification, some kind of a remodeling, and then the work is the original contribution by the researcher. So please avoid using the existing facts and the figures given by some other people. There must be some kind of innovations, could be 5%, could be 10%. And third is the sources. The student of the younger generation, they what they do is they believe on the Wikipedia. Wikipedia, anybody can edit. It's an open platform to edit something. So the research title, the research statement that you are planning should be sound enough. It should be sound technically sound enough. So the sources that you use into your references should be the scholarly grounding sources. It should not be like Wikipedia or any other substandard book or substandard journal. So right from the beginning, right from the initial stage of your research, you should refer the quality papers and the quality literatures. Now, how will you select a topic and how will you start your writing process? And how will you narrow down your area of research? So let's take some examples. We can focus on a specific type or a class. Okay, like I want to go for underprivileged section. Okay, the poor community in a society. I don't want to cover the rich people and the people from a rural background or the urban background. I can focus on a specific class of my say the samples. I'll be talking on urban community. I'll be talking on a rural community. So we can pick up a specific type or a class to narrow down my research proposal. Second one is I can focus on a specific place or a region. So for example, I want to make a study on COVID-19 pandemic. So I'll be talking on central India. I don't want to go for other part of India. My study and research would be confined to the central part of an India. So that way, place or the region will be one tool to make your work narrow down to some specific region. Third one is we can also include the time period. For example, economical growth in the last 5 years, last 10 years. Okay, that way I'll be having a timestamp so that my work is confined to some part of your time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, could be 25 years, depending upon your need. So I can take type, I can take classes, I can take a place or the region, I can include the time period also. This way you will be having a narrow focused approach to start your research work. Fourth technique is we can include some specific aspect into your designing, into your research work. I can include the social aspect. I can go for the legal aspect. I can go for the medical aspect, the ethical part, biological, psychological, economic, political, and the philosophical. So any aspect which really attracts you, which really make your work more interesting. So we can club one or two aspect into our research synopsis. Fifth one is, which I recommend, is focus on a specific population. I can say that I want to go for only the female population of any region. I want to do some survey and the R&D dealing with the old age people, the orphan people, the old age home people. So depending upon nationality, educational background, whatever. So I can hit on a specific population into my research work. Focus on the relationship with two or more topic. For example, I want to go for the embedded system. As I am from computer science, this is one area of research work. And then I have a security. Usually the people from computer science, they will say that this is core hardware and this is more towards the software issue. But I want to have a synopsis which will relate these two entirely different domains. Embedded systems, not having security into my smartphone. So I want to integrate the security issue along with the embedded system. So I can make my topic, which is narrow focused, with an integration of embedded system along with the security. That is one more aspect of having something new, some innovative idea, a good synopsis, which will, like get publication chances, which will have a good synopsis and you will get more appreciation. Combine different kinds of focuses. I can focus on legal aspect along with the time period. I can combine a specific class with the kind of geographical part of any country or any part. So I can combine multiple different focuses and then I will be getting a very structured and very narrow research topic. So I hope that with this 5 or 7 tips, you will be able to narrow down your topic into some specific frame. I hope I am fair enough to explain the logic. Now let's go for that technique, like how do you outline your research work, how do you make a draft, how do you revise it, and how do you edit it. You have to, like explore various literatures. You can see in the figure, the person is trying to look at a very specific topic as per his or her demand. Then you have to draft your own synopsis. You have to revise it, and then you have to finally edit and then propose your uh, proposal. Now, what is a research outline and how it is useful for a researcher to come up with a very good synopsis? It's a tool to which is used for in a writing process. So if you make the outline, it's an aid, it's a tool, which I'll be referring many times. For example, I have a hammer. So hammer is a tool to make certain object. So I'll be using my hammer throughout my workshop. I'll be making certain object. So hammer is a tool. In the same way, the research outline is a tool, which will be helping us in the whole process of writing your research paper. So you have to make your research outline and you have to refer it periodically whenever you need it. This outline will help you organize your ideas in the ordered way. Many times while reviewing the research papers, we see that the text is not organized. Paragraph 1 is into different orientation. Paragraph 2 is not having any link or flow with the previous paragraph. So it should be logically ordered. So whatever ideas you're having into your mind, you have to link them logically in a very ordered way. So research outline will give you a clear idea how will you link all the paragraph and all the issues into your research paper. So make sure that you make a proper research outline and you will be using it more frequently whenever you draft your research paper. Third is present your material in the logical form. This point is more towards the way you represent your ideas, the way you represent your research output. It could be in the form of table, it could be in the form of a graph, it could be in the form of some other graphical tool. So you have to pick up a suitable logical form which is really presenting your idea in a more attractive way. So if your outline is clear, you can say that I want to project this output in the form of a graph. Second sub point, I'll be using these research output in the form of some kind of a tables. So that way you will be having very clear idea. I need 4 tables. I need 5 kind of a graph into my research article. So outline will give you the whole skeleton of your research paper that you're planning to write. Fourth one is show the relationship among ideas in your writing. I have multiple ideas, so they should not be separately organized. They should be linked together. So you have to link all the ideas so that you can justify your research title. So what I want to say is you have to relate all the ideas which are the essential part of your research paper. Don't leave them into their own, own area. You have to integrate them, you have to relate them, and then ultimately you have to justify the final title of your research paper and ultimately the title of your PhD or MPhil, MTech synopsis, the title. And this outline will prevent us from straying from the topic. We will not deviate from the actual target or objective of your research work. If your research outline is very much clear and you are referring it periodically, I will not deviate here and there. So my work, my time, and my experiment will be very much focused, and I will be doing the thing which is really required into my research work. So this is how I can say that uh, how important the research outline is. Let's talk about how do you outline. What are the few tips for making your research outline? We have to research. Many of you must have heard about a term called as prior art. The prior art means what? The work which is done by some other researcher. So up to what extent they have covered, what are the backlog thing, which probably you will be taking up into your PhD synopsis. So you have to research on the existing development which was done by the other researcher. So you have to perform the initial research work to learn about the chosen topic. How many things are pending, how many things are left for the other researchers to take up. So that way it requires a prior art, it requires a literature review before you make your synopsis. Brainstorm. List all the ideas that you want to include into your paper. So we have many things into our mind. We hear some presentations by some professor. We hear the presentations by our senior. So we are just hearing it. We are not learning it. So you have to, list out all the ideas that you really want to include into your paper, so that you will not take up any other irrelevant topic. Organize the ideas together. So you have to group the ideas together, and then you can organize the whole part of your paper or your research synopsis. Order the things. Arrange materials in subsections from general to specific or from abstract to the concrete part. I would say out of this 5 bullets, the last 2 are quite important, which is order and the level. So what exactly is the meaning of an order? So we have the whole material with us. We work in the lab for 6 months or say 1 year. Suppose we are intern or we are the research scholar, we are the GRF or the SRF. We are working say 6 months, 1 year or 2 year. So we have so much of material with us. So you have to make sections and you have to make subsections. Okay. So how do you make section and the subsection? We have to start from a very general topic, a general elaboration, and then we have to go specific to our area. So that requires ordering of your entire material, like point one, then point 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Then point number two, having subsections 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. I have seen that even after spending 5 years for the PhD work, people they are not able to make table of contents, which requires order, which requires chapter number and the sub chapter numbers. So if you are working from the beginning that in this way you're going to order your entire research work, you will be in a more comfortable position, right? Labels. Labels means captions. If I am saying introduction, it's a caption given to the part one, the first chapter. I can say methodology. Okay, I can say experimentations. So every section and subsection will be having some labels, means the tag, like introduction, methodology, the survey work. So that 2, 3 words are assigned to all the sections. That is called as a label. So whenever you make an outline, you have to make sure that the order is addressed, the label is also addressed. Now, do's with the outline. What are the recommended things that we should do with the outline of our research? Refer your outline very often. This is a very common mistake the scholars they do. They make the outline, and what do they leave it as a garbage into his or her study table. They don't even refer it. So if you are working for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, or even 3 to 4 year, you have to refer the basic outline of your research. So that will give you very focused way to move ahead. And second mistake which I find is the people those who are about to start their research degree, at the initial stage they are reluctant to meet their guide. They say अभी तो हमने start किया है PhD, अभी क्या मिलना, काम तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. But my recommendation is entirely different. During the initial stage of your PhD plan, the more frequent meeting is required with your mentor, with your professor. That will give you the very strong outline of your PhD work. And usually I have seen the 80% of the scholar, they avoid meeting with their mentor during the initial stage of their PhD or the MPhil MTech program. So my recommendation is you make your outline, refer it more frequently, and meet your mentor more frequently during the initial days of your PhD work. Second is be as specific as possible. And don't try to pick up multiple things and try to add into the single paper. You have to be very much clear that you are going to address these 2 or 3 issues into your paper. You are not going beyond this. So these are the 2 recommendations that we should do with the outline of your research. Don't Do's and don'ts I'm discussing with the outline. Avoid too many subheadings. Some of the papers I have seen that they put 1.1, 1.2, and they go up to 1.7, 1.8. It is not required. For textbook, it is okay that you are having 1.5, 1.8, 1.10. But in the research paper, in the research article, we should not go for so much of subheadings. 4, 5, or max 7 is a reasonably good figure. We should not go beyond 6 in a research paper. Afraid to change your outline. I have seen that during initial days you make some outline, but when you start working on the instruments, you start taking survey across the community, you find that something is not feasible, which is a part of your already stated outline. So don't be afraid to change your outline. Depending upon practical issues, the feasibility of your work, we can change the outline slightly. Like I don't want to include the underprivileged community. I don't want to include the heterogeneous model. It is not feasible into my research part. So you can eliminate it. You can modify your outline depending upon a very technical and a genuine reason. Third is giving insufficient time to change. If you are changing something into your outline, that part you have to include into your research work, and you have to give sufficient time for that updations. You change the outline, you change the thesis title, then you have to justify your work. That work requires 6 months or 1 year. So you have to give 6 months for simulation. You have to give 6 months for the experimentations. So be fair, I mean, be give the sufficient time if you are changing your outline or if you are changing your proposal. Now, I'll give some examples like how will you freeze your title? It's all about the knowledge of literature and how do you select words and how do you make a sentence. I'll give you three examples. First example is rated to be the poor example. Second one is slightly better example. And third one is the best among these three. Okay. Suppose the topic is compare and contrast the reason why the North and the South fought the Civil War. There was some kind of a fighting between both the community, Northern people and the Southern people. And paper is proposed by some of the researcher indicating the reason of a fight between both the community. Look at the first example. The North and the South fought the Civil War for many reasons, some of which were the same and some different. It's a very vague title. And if you're writing a paper with this kind of a title, there is a high chances of getting the rejections. Okay, so how will you modify it? I'm not modifying the paper. I'm not going to modify the internal contents of a paper. I'm just trying to make my title more fancy and more attractive. So how will you modify it further? And you can say this is the better example of my research paper title. Look at the second example. While both sides fought the civil war over the issue of slavery means gulami, the North fought for the moral reasons, while the South fought to preserve its own institution. So I'm more focused on the reason of fighting. What was the reason behind the northern people? What was the reason behind the southern people? So there was certain reason which I have added into the title of my research paper. So this is more attractive as compared to the first one. So that way we can keep on modifying our title of a paper. What do I recommend to my research scholar is you write some paper and just propose 4 to 5 title to your colleague or to your mentor and to your professor. And let's have a discussion which one is the better one. Don't come up with single or one or two title of your paper. Make it 4 or 5. And then you can have a discussion, you can have a brainstorming, and then you can finally freeze your title of a research paper. Let's go for the third option of a title. While both Northerners and the Southerners believe they fought against the tyranny, Northerners focused on the operations and slaves, while Southerners defended their own right to self-government. So it's all about using very good terms which are based upon your area of interest. And if you compare the third example title with the first one, you can easily find out a difference into the title. So definitely, if your paper is having third title, there are a chances that the people will go through the abstract, they will go through the introduction, and they will read your paper thoroughly. But if you're writing the first one, the poor example, probably the people, those who are into the area, the same area, they won't even purchase your full article, they won't download your article, and they won't use it for their research work. This is one example which I'm having to, how will you update the standard of your title of a paper. Let's go ahead. Recommended way to write the abstract. The paper will have title, paper will have abstract, paper will have keywords, it will have introduction. So I'll be requiring around 1 hour to 15 minutes to complete my portion. Let's go to the abstract. Why I have 2 or 3 slides for the abstract? I have seen that the people, those who are working for many years and writing their research paper, they are not able to differentiate what exactly the abstract is and how it is different from the introduction. You read it, you read the introduction, you read the abstract, you will find the philosophy is completely same. But while writing abstract, we have a different mindset we should have. And for writing the introduction, we should have a different orientation. So I'll be trying to highlight for the 5 minutes, how will you write abstract and how it is different from the introduction part of your paper. What the abstract is, it's a short summary of a longer work. Longer work means you have spent into your lab, you went to the market, you went, you did the interviews, you did the questionnaire, distributed, and then you have collected the data. So you are working for a very longer time. So longer work is summarized in the short form is called as an abstract. So this is the first point that we can highlight what exactly the abstract is. Second point is The abstract concisely reports the aim and the outcome. I have seen various abstract. People, they miss the outcome or sometimes they miss the aim. Two important ingredients of an abstract is you have to include precisely the aim. What is your objective and what you have achieved into your research work. So if the abstract is not attractive, or the reader will not go ahead and download the entire paper, they will not read the introduction part. So we have to make sure that the abstract is having both the things, aim and the outcome. Third is the abstract is a summary of your research work. I want to highlight here word your. You have to summarize your work, your analysis, your interpretations. Don't give much space into abstract for the others' work. You can refer it, but the major contribution into the abstract should be the work done by the researcher only. Okay. Fourth point is it is nearly as important as the title because the reader will be quickly read through it. A person, those who are into the same area, would like to go through the abstract after reading the title. So you have to give equal importance to the abstract and to the title. Keep the sentence short and focused. This is very important by writing the abstract. What happens is I have seen the people, they write long sentence in the abstract. It's a compound sentences. 3, 4 sentences they combine into single sentence. Keep the sentence as short as possible and it should give some message. Every sentence should give some message that I am doing this, I am doing X, I am doing Y, I achieved the Z. So it should be very much focused. Sentence must be of moderate size. For next point is avoid acronyms in the citations. If I'm using like a term HIV, it's a short form of a disease. Everybody knows about what exactly the HIV is. So we should try to avoid the short forms and the acronyms. We should avoid the citations. We write something like this. We write something like this. It's a second paper from my reference section. It's a third paper from my reference section. We should avoid using the acronyms and the citations in the abstract part. Leave this thing for the introduction. In the introduction, we can cite so many papers. We have to cite almost all the important papers, and we can use the short form into our elaborations. But in the abstract, try to avoid these two things. This will delete your quality of an abstract. Last is write the abstract at a very end. Normally, various people they suggest write your abstract first, but I would say complete your work. Devote full time in the lab. Devote full time into survey and the interviews, and then you come down to your place. And whenever you wind up your work, then you write your abstract. Then the abstract writing will be more easy, more comfortable, and you will be able to include all the important points. So I would say that you have to write the abstract at the last of your work. So I think is it going fine?
Yes, sir. Please continue. It is fine, sir.
Okay, fine.
Right.
Yes, sir, please.
So next is the significant inclusions. What we should include in the abstract part. So any abstract which is not having this 1 or 4 points, one of the 4 points will be rated as a poor abstract. So we should always include the research problem in the objective. What for we are carrying out our research work? What is the ultimate objective you want to achieve? Please make sure that you include the objective into your abstract, as well as the physical problem you are trying to handle. Okay, so these two are the essential part of your abstract. Don't forget to include these things. Methods adopted. I will be having some method like survey, I will be having simulation method, I will be having some kind of experimentation. So whatever method I'm using, I should include those method into my abstract work. Otherwise, they will say that it's a fake work, it's all copy from the other papers and the method is missing. So you have to make sure that your own method, could be any simple method, is to be included. You have to include the key results. Okay, I would like to emphasize here key results. Don't try to include each and every result into the abstract part. It's an abstract, not the whole paper. So you have to pick up some prominent kind of inferences, some very attractive results, and make those things as a part of your abstract. Okay, and plus your argument, that what is your feeling with the research work. So don't leave this part. At least write 2 or 3 lines about what do you feel working with this simulator, what do you feel with working with this kind of instrument, And how would you recommend this instrument or this kind of survey for the other researcher? So you have to include key results. At the same time, you have to give your own argument. It could be any kind of feelings that you come across while doing your research work. And final conclusion by yourself. It could be the further work. It could be some kind of limitations. It could be some kind of recommendations. So your conclusion must be there in the abstract. So make sure that you include all the four parts. Next things are subjective to the journal that you are trying. If I'm going for the SCI journal, I'm going for a science, whatever. So there is a limit given. Sometimes we have a limit like 300 words for the abstract. Okay, please do not cross this limit. That is treated to be kind of unethical and very serious ignorance. Make sure that you cover 80% of the maximum limit. If it is 500 word, you have to wind up by 400. Okay, never cross the final limit of the abstract given by the publisher, given by some university. So there are different requirements by any institution or any journal. You have to read it at least one or twice. What is the limit for introduction, the limit of number of pages for the research paper, number of words for the abstract. In dissertation or thesis, you have to include the abstract on a separate page. The abstract for research paper is of one paragraph. But in case of thesis, the complete thesis, abstract may take 2 or 3 pages, 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so we can take a separate page for an abstract if you're writing your thesis of MSc or MTech or a PhD. And where to place it? After the title page and the acknowledgement, you can put your abstract here and before the table of content. First page should be title page, second page should be acknowledgement, third should be the abstract page that you are writing, and fourth will be table of content. This is how in general we plan to put physically our abstract of any thesis, but you have to refer the guidelines given by your mentor and the university or journal specifications. Now let's go ahead and see checklist. Many journal publishers, they don't ask the full length paper. This is very common practice for a good conferences. They ask for submitting the abstract, and depending upon the abstract, they will invite you to submit the full paper. Otherwise, they will say it is rejected. So writing abstract is essentially important as compared to the remaining part of your paper. So whenever you finalize, this is what my abstract is. There is some checklist. So you have to check at least 5 to 7 points out of this 8 listed over here. Word count is within the limit of the pages or not. Okay, just you can have various tools like MS Word is having a tool to count number of words. So whatever package you are using, make sure that you verify the maximum limit of words. Place abstract after, this is all physical placement already we have seen. Don't put it like the first page and then the last page. So follow the guideline, the standard guideline. I have clearly stated my research work. Okay, I have briefly described my methodology. Okay, I have summarized the most important results. Don't put the garbage here. Okay, I have stated main conclusions into my abstract. I have mentioned any important limitations, like the instrument was not having 32-bit processing. I don't have 64-bit CPU with me, so I have not gone beyond 64-bit. So limitations based upon some software, based upon certain hardware, the accuracy, I would say, you will find so many limitations. So you have to include that into your abstract and your own recommendations. Okay, the abstract can be understood by someone without prior knowledge. This is very important. You want your work to be carried out by other researchers. They will be including your paper into their journal, into their literature. So unless you welcome the newcomers into your area, nobody is going to use your paper. So make sure that the abstract is drafted nicely so that the other newcomers will feel interest to read your article. Okay, that way you will be having a team build up gradually, and then you will be enjoying working with your community, with the community of your research area. Techniques to pick up a keyword. So huh, like without keyword we cannot complete the draft of a research paper. So how important the keyword is. I have seen some of the people, they complain, my paper is published 5 years back, but nobody is going to read it. The hit count is single digit. So I want to increase it. I don't know why the people are not reading my paper. So it's not the publisher fault. It's not a fault of the university website. It's a fault of a researcher. I'm using word fault because the keywords that we frame is not very much suitable to your theme of research work. So if I say my keyword is resource provisioning, if my keyword is suppose embedded systems, if my keyword is security, so your work must be from that area only. If you use improper keyword, the agencies are not going to put your paper onto the public forum. जब तक वो विजिबल नहीं होगा, unless it is visible to other people, they are not going to use your paper into their work. So uh, writing the suitable keyword matching to your contribution is really important. So how do you pick up the keyword during the uh, one must be able to dig out your relevant published article. So with the keyword, if I type keyword onto the search engine, I must get the relevant papers. If I'm typing, suppose RSA algorithm, so I must get the papers dealing with the RSA algorithm only. If I type HIV, so I must get the articles based upon the HIV only. So if the papers are having very suitable keyword, then only a paper will be available onto the internet. Purpose of keyword is to help other researchers find your paper. Quite clear? This will increase your visibility on the common forum so that your citations will gradually increase. Keywords define or cover the field. So if I'm working on the field of medical sciences, it will cover broadly the main field. It has to cover the subfield also. Like in the medical sciences, which topic I want to go ahead. So it should cover the subfield, it should cover the field also. It should cover the research issues that you are trying to address. Fourth point is the most search engine journal databases, they use the keyword to decide where to flash your paper, where to fetch your paper. So keyword is important for the people, those who select your paper and they go for the indexing, indexed by the Google Scholar, indexing by some other agencies. So keyword is interface to keep your paper available in a common forum. That's the importance of a keyword. Keyword increases the visibility, quite clear, and ensures that you get more citations. Citation means including your paper into others' literature. So that way we can feel, now we should feel the importance of keyword into our paper writing process. Now, one paper should have around 4 to 6 keywords. Don't make it 2 keywords and don't go beyond 6. So any quality paper, if you refer from IEEE, the Science Direct, the SCI Index Journal, you will find that the moderate number of keywords are used, 3, 4, or max to max 6. Capitalize the first letter of a keyword. I have seen that the people don't even follow these 3 things. You have to capitalize the first letter of a keyword, right? For example, I want to go for business administration. You have to put this B as a capital. Okay. If your keyword is a proper name, then you have to capitalize the first letter of each word. If I'm going for some survey of a Tapi river, so it's a proper name. So you have to put T as a capital and you have to keep R as a capital. Okay, don't keep this R as a small letter. That will derate your quality of a paper. I use full phrases rather than the acronyms and the abbreviations. If I'm using the HMO, okay, which is not very well-known term, okay, so I have to write here it's a health maintenance organization, and then later on in the abstract part you can use the short form or you can use into the introduction. But in the keyword, try to use the full form of all the terms that you are going to use. Add a keyword if the concept or concepts covers around 20%. This is very common mistake. Very common mistake. You feel that the contribution of that area is not more than 5% into your paper, and you're trying to add that as a one keyword. This is something very wrong. Okay. So make sure that that concept covers at least 20% work into your paper. Then you can look for a suitable keyword to add into the set of keyword. Otherwise not. Okay. So that way the visibility will be assured and your paper will be available across uh, suitable people and they will be using your paper for their work. The fifth one is keywords categorize work as a whole. So focus on the major concepts. Okay. It's a replication of my previous point, the point number 4 here. So if I have some minor aspect, we should discard the corresponding keyword from the set of a keyword. Sixth point is adding multiple keywords adequately covers a topic. So I can have more than one keyword that will justify the scope of my research work. So that way, we will be able to fix up a keyword. And definitely, I'm sure that if you follow some of these guidelines, the chances of getting paper selection is quite higher. Now let us go for the last slide for the keyword, using acronyms that will have other meanings. For example, if I'm using the short form like HIV, so HIV is not having multiple meanings in our society. Everybody knows that it's one of the disease which is known by the community. So HIV will have a straightforward, the actual meaning of the word. So there is no harm of using words like HIV. But what about ARC? ARC is not the universal term. The people from the field, they have different meaning of the ARC. For example, in computer science, the ARC stands for a file format. The people from IT field, CSE field, they know what is the full form of the ARC. But the person from mathematics, person from the biology, they have a different full form of a term ARC. So try to avoid using these kind of terms into your keyword. You should write very properly that what exactly is the ARC. For example, if I'm a person of computer programming, I will be writing my keyword as ARC file format. I should not write this ARC. I'll be writing what exactly the ARC is. In case of engineering, it has got different meaning. In case of mathematics, we have a different meaning of the ARC. So you have to combine multiple words to make it more understandable by the reader. Okay. So this is all about how we pick up a keyword. So I think it's uh, sufficient. It's good enough to understand the importance of keyword and how do you write abstract and title of your research synopsis. Let's go ahead. How to write introduction of a research paper. Uh, Many times the people, they are confused with the abstract and introduction. You read the papers for review, you find it is exactly same as what is in the abstract. Okay. So my suggestion and advice to all of you is while writing introduction, try to make sentence as simple as possible. But in case of abstract, it is highly technical. The abstracts are very much technical. The newcomer will not be able to understand in a single reading in the abstract. But in case of introduction, a single reading is sufficient enough to understand what is the content of that paper. So the philosophy of writing introduction is you should make the sentence very simple. Don't use very hi-fi and very technical term, but you can use technical terms, hi-fi sentences in the abstract part. But in the introduction, try to make it as light as possible, and you have to give clear message to the reader. कि आपका काम actually है क्या? Now, there are around 10 points which I would like to specify for the introduction. Start broadly and then narrow down. Okay, the initial paragraph of your introduction should not be narrow focus to the technology you want to address. It should start in a broader term. Later on in the second paragraph or the text, you can come down to the specific part of your research work. Describe the broad area in the first paragraph. Okay, if it is a cloud computing, talk about a cloud computing. Then you can go for resource provisioning. Then you can go for the algorithm. So that way you have to come down gradually to the topic and then narrow down to your particular focus areas. Okay, cloud computing is one of the area, and then you can go for resource provisioning, which is one subpart of your cloud computing. So next paragraph or third paragraph could be on the resource provisioning, followed by the algorithm and the technologies developed. Second point is state the aims and the importance. Sometimes we get a rejections comment by the publisher, lacking clear motivations. It's a very common rejection comment given by the people who are there to select or reject your paper. They say not showing the importance of the topic. So what is the reason behind getting this kind of a rejection statement by the journals? So read this one. So what do you want to achieve and why your reader should be interested in? You have to make sure that the basic structure can be simple as we aim to do X, which is important because it will lead to the Y. I want to say that my aim is to do X, but why is that important? Because if I'm doing X, I would converge, I would lead to the Y. So this way I'm going to give importance of why this X is there into my research work. So while writing The introduction part, you have to specify uh, why this topic is important, why you have done this X. So this kind of sentence will give weightage and more clarity into your introduction part. Announce your research topic. This is called as inverted triangle approach. The people from the subject RM, research methodology, they will be knowing about what exactly the inverted triangle approach is. Start your introduction with a few sentences to announce the topic and then indicate the research questions. I'll give you an example. How will you announce your topic and then how will you indicate the research question that you are going to handle? Throughout the 20th century, our views of life on the other planet have drastically changed. This will introduce the topic, but does so in the broader term. So I just want to announce my topic. What is the thought behind the lifestyle on the other planets in 20th century? Then focus more closely on the rest of your introduction, leading to a research, a specific research questions. Then I can say in what area I want to perceive the topic and in what way I want to go ahead. So you have to announce the topic, you have to make comfortable, you have to give a mindset to the reader of your paper. Now cite thoroughly but not too excessively. Uh, what is the meaning of thoroughly? Yes, somebody is trying to unmute the mic. Is there any question?
Yes, anyone, please ask the question if I have.
I heard that somebody is trying to unmute the mic, so I pause here.
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll continue here.
Okay, okay, please, sir.
Cite thoroughly, but not excessively. Thoroughly means what? In my term, instead of saying the topic is important, show why the topic is important. So you have to say why this topic is in a demand and why you have taken up as a research assignment. You have to say that this topic is important because of these reasons. When to cite the latest paper. In the introduction part, when to refer the latest paper into your draft. This is one thing very important, something very important. Once you have narrowed your focus, then only you should thoroughly cover the most recent paper. The initial 1 and 2 paragraph, they are in a very broader term. They are dealing with the area itself. So during the initial 2 or 3 paragraph, do not cite the latest paper like 2019 paper or 20 paper. So initial paragraph should cover up, should cite the older paper of 2015 or 16 or 17. So whenever you come down to the topic, the narrow topic, then you can add the latest paper. This is something very important, and this will definitely give you rejection or a selection. What to do when introduction is too long? I Some of my scholars, they said, sir, introduction is 3 pages long. How should I cut it down? I'm not able to remove some paragraph and I'm not able to make it 1 page or 1.5 page. So what are the technique to short your introduction part if it is too long, 2 or 3 pages? So I would say that you can, if it is too long or overflowing the citations, the one possible solution is to cite review articles. Okay. The introduction is longer because you are citing the standard papers. You are not citing the review articles. So if you feel that your citations or introduction is going very, very long, you should eliminate the standard paper from your reference section and try to include more research articles, review articles, sorry. So that way you will be able to compress your introduction without losing the quality. I would emphasize here, you can reduce the size of your introduction without losing the quality. And technologies, you have to cite the review articles and eliminate the standard papers from the list of references. So I hope you all will be appreciating this technique, how to cut down the introduction and make it smaller without losing the quality of your paper. Introduction of the review articles. Review of the literature should be complete, and we have comparatively longer introductions. So this is quite obvious. How to write introduction or research paper. I have 2 or 3 more points and then I will be stopping here. In the last paragraph, what should we write? In the last paragraph, I should mention the section by section overview of your paper. For example, the section 2 will describe analysis. Section 3 will describe the results. Section 4 will describe our findings and so on. So the last paragraph of introduction should contain the organization of your paper. How many sections you have, which section will cover which part of your work. So that way the reader will be comfortable about the remaining part of your paper. and he or she will would like to go for the full length of your paper, he or she will purchase that paper or download the full length. So you have to make sure that you will be adding this.
Sir, Mehta sir,
हाँ जी.
Jagriti madam, Jagriti is actually, I want to ask some question.
Yes, can you just read the questions? I will try to
Unmute,
answer. I don't know what kind of questions she's having.
unmute, please unmute the Jagriti.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Jagriti. Tell me.
Sir, what is the difference between writing introduction in research paper and synopsis?
Synopsis and the research paper.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'll try to answer. Introduction part of a research paper is confined to a part of your research work. Synopsis is dealing with the entire plan of a PhD work, right? Whereas in case of introduction of research paper, a part of work is published in one research paper. You will be required to publish 3 or 4 papers into your PhD. So in research paper, it's a part of the whole synopsis. So if you are writing introduction of the synopsis, it should cover in a very broader sense, right from the scratch till the deliverables, जो आपको देना होगा PhD के बाद में. So I would say introduction of research paper is a part or a subset of introduction of your whole synopsis.
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन कि हम अपने सिनॉप्सिस के इंट्रोडक्शन में वो वर्क भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं जिसपे हम वर्क नहीं करना चाहते लेकिन हमारे टॉपिक में वो वर्क किया गया हो.
मैंने आपको शायद किसी स्लाइड में एक्सप्लेन किया था. There has to be a proper balance of the things which is done by the other people. Okay, if you are proposing a synopsis, it will go to some expert committee for an approval. So you
जी.
should give weightage around 30% space into your synopsis, covering the work done by the other researcher, and 70% probably could be the your contribution and your proposal. Don't cover up 80% text into your synopsis, which is done by the other people.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's go ahead, and the fifth point is to organize, to tell about the whole organization of your paper into the introduction part, so that the people will have some query into their mind and they would like to review the whole article of your work. So this is all about the basic points of introduction. I have 7 points, which is again important, and the researchers, they commit mistake into this. Avoid many citations in a single point. I'll give you the example. The example is, I have a sentence. Many studies have found a significant association between X and the Y. And I'm writing here 11 papers into my citations. Paper number 4 in a sequence, 5, 6 till 15. All papers are having this kind of concept. So this is too much. This is 11 number of papers. You have to avoid multiple citations for a single point. Now you will say, I feel that paper number 4, paper number 5, up to this 15, all are important. I don't want to lose any of the paper. Otherwise, I will be losing my quality. But at the same time, the recommendation as per the Elsevier is, you cannot go for citing 11 papers just for a single point, right? So what are the technique for including these kind of papers, 11 papers? Let's see the example. A significant association has been found between X and Y. Paper number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now you can see the second sentence. Women, paper number 8, 9, and 10 and 11. Third, and for the children's, I have 3 more papers. 5 more papers. So you can segregate them with certain attributes. Only associations, page number, men's, male, 4, 5, 6, 7. Women, you have 3 papers. Children's, you have 5 papers. So that way you will be avoiding this kind of bigger mistake. At the same time, you don't want to lose any 11 papers. So you have added all the papers from your reference section. So I would say that the researchers, they should give importance to this particular point. Next, clearly state either your hypothesis or a research question. So you have to specify that what kind of questions you are going to handle or address into your research work. Read this. In this study, we show that X is related to Y by the method of A. Okay. So in this study, we can write like this. In this study, we hypothesize the X is related to the Y, and we use method A to test the hypothesis. Okay. So you have to give the message. Along with that, you have to make it technically rich so that things are clear to the researchers and they can go ahead and they can refer it. So one more example I want to give here. Suppose we have a sentence: the development of a new material is important for the automotive industry. It's a very blunt statement. Okay, you have to make it more rich. In what way you can modify it? You can see here. The development of a new material is necessary for the automotive industry. Now we can add it further to produce a stronger, lighter vehicle, which will improve safety and a fuel economy. So you are doing X because X will give you this much of benefit. It is required in the industry. It has got due academic importance. So every sentence will have some message, some technicality, some kind of message, the advantages and the use of your logic. So do not use this kind of sentence. You can reframe it because you know the importance of new material in the automotive industry. So what are those benefits? You have to write it explicitly like this, like this, like this, and like this. So I think I should take another part of this discussion to cover up the methodology and how do you include the references. So I think I should stop here because I have covered the title, the synopsis, I have talked about the keywords, I talked about the abstract and the introduction. So almost the half part of the paper is over. So I will be requesting Dubey sir to
Yes, sir.
give one more chance so that I can cover it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, sir. Because it is a basically fundamental pillar for writing a paper, sir. So you have already explained very important tips for the all young researcher. And maybe possible we will take one more request for you for the second part of this.
Because I think it's going very long.
Yeah, correct.
I'll be discussing somewhere whenever we have a schedule.
Yeah, correct.
Any questions from
Any question from the audience? Any question, please ask.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Please tell me.
सर मुझे ये पूछना है कि सिनॉप्सिस में जो हम इंट्रोडक्शन लिखते हैं क्या वो मैटर हम अपने नोटवर्दी कंट्रीब्यूशन में भी लिख सकते हैं अगर हमारे वर्क से रिलेटेड वो है तो
बेटा
वो
नोटवर्दी
चीज रिपीट हो सकती है कि नहीं
नोटवर्दी कंट्रीब्यूशन तो तब आता है जब हम काम को खत्म कर लेते हैं, राइट?
सर एक्चुअली द प्रोफॉर्मा ऑफ आवर यूनिवर्सिटी हैज मेंशन्ड द पॉइंट नोटवर्दी कंट्रीब्यूशन इन द प्रपोज्ड वर्क.
ओके, आई गॉट इट. यदि वैसा लिखा हुआ है तो नोटवर्दी कंट्रीब्यूशन कुड बी बाय द अदर रिसर्चर, नॉट बाय यू.
Sir, the research work may be similar in introduction part and noteworthy part.
See, what I want to say is, noteworthy part में आप वो लिखेंगे कि जो important contribution किसी और researcher ने किया होगा वो आपको ऐड करना है.
हाँ सर, जो हम अब मतलब जिसमें हम आगे काम करना चाहते हैं और जो रिसेंट वर्क हुआ है वो लिखेंगे.
वही लिखेंगे और उसमें जो बहुत एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी काम हुआ होगा उसको आप मेंशन करेंगे.
और सर उस चीज को हम इंट्रोडक्शन में लिखेंगे कि नहीं सिनॉप्सिस में?
लिख सकते हैं बट इट शुड बी वेरी लाइट इन द इंट्रोडक्शन.
जस्ट इंट्रोडक्शन इन नैरो फॉर्म.
हाँ, बहुत ही मतलब सेंटेंस लाइट होंगे, ग्रामर बहुत सिंपल होगा, टेक्निकल टर्म बहुत ज्यादा यूज नहीं करना है. इंट्रोडक्शन की हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो आपको जितना लाइट आप कर सकते हो उतना आप लाइट करेंगे.
जी. And sir, what is the difference between brief review and noteworthy contribution in synopsis?
I'll be taking some more session to cover up these issues, right? I have done only the half part in my today's session. So very soon again and I'll be talking about this remaining part of your paper.
Ji sir.
Yes, Rohit and Rajesh sir. If any question, please ask sir. Rohit and Rajesh sir. Hello. You please tell your name first.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir, my name is Priyanka.
Okay.
Yes, Priyanka, tell me.
सर मैं ये क्वेश्चन करना चाह रही हूँ कि जैसे हम ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते हैं किसी रिसर्च के लिए तो हाइपोथेसिस क्या ऑब्जेक्ट से ही हमें निकालना होता है? हेलो,
Please repeat your question. I didn't get you.
Inka, please once more, madam.
जी सर. सर जो हम ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करते हैं अपने रिसर्च के अकॉर्डिंग तो हाइपोथेसिस क्या हमें ऑब्जेक्ट के अनुसार बनाना होता है? या hypothesis हम अपने according means how to make a hypothesis.
No, see, your question is very much subjective to your faculty. I don't know whether you are from engineering or you're from the applied sciences. So I would say that you should talk to your mentor. आपका कौन सा hypothesis है, कौन सा आपका object है? It would be premature for me to give the answer.
जी sir.
Right? हाँ, ठीक है.
Okay sir. Thank you so much.
So
anyone please?
Sir, one more question please.
जागृति. ओके
सर आपने जैसे बोला कि हमें बहुत सारा जो साइटेशन है एक साथ नहीं करना है, जैसे आपने एक एग्जांपल दिया 4 to 12 वाला.
हाँ.
तो सर उसका मैक्सिमम लिमिट कितना है या मिनिमम की, मतलब कितने में उसे हमें ब्रेक करना चाहिए?
यूजुअली 3 से 4, उससे ऊपर 4 से ऊपर
3 से 4
है ना.
ओके,
अच्छा, आप एक काम और
थैंक यू
सकते हैं, आपको जहाँ भेजना है पेपर, जिस भी वहाँ भेजना है जर्नल में, उसके पेपर्स को आप जो ऑलरेडी पब्लिश हो चुके हैं पहले वो देख लीजिए. उसमें 3-4 है तब 3-4 रखिए, यदि उसमें 5 है तो 5 रखिएगा, वो आप चेंज कर सकते
सर. एक्चुअली आई एम आस्किंग इन द सेंस ऑफ synopsis as I have just initiated my work.
हैं. ओके, सो इट शुड बी अराउंड 3 to 4, नॉट मोर देन दैट.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
ठीक है
जी.
Mehta sir, actually, please you display your email ID so that anyone have a question they can also raise through email, sir.
Yeah, I'll just place my slide where I have my email.
Yeah, correct, sir. Yeah.
So I think now my slide is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
So I must thank everyone, all the participants and the organizers for offering me this chair, and thanks to everybody for patiently hearing me. And if you have any kind of doubt, you can drop me an email. I will try to reply your queries. And thanks to the management of Narsee Monjee University for giving me a chance to be a part of this discussion. Thank you, Dubey sir, and thank you everyone.
Yes, lastly, I also thanks to Dr. Mehta sir to give or spare the time for the hours IIIRO. And I will also request, sir, ki whenever the time will be, you can spare, I will go for the part 2 of this, how to write research paper.
Sure.
So I will also thankful to the all participants, and I am happy Jagriti, as Jagriti is asking the question. I actually appreciate the Jagriti. You may also ask the anyone, or you will give me your all curated to the all our mentors, because in our IRO many mentors are doing the research. So I will request to the all young researchers, and because research is very much useful for the engineering, science, and every stream. Without research, it is not possible to complete the subject. So I will hope that everyone will be give the contribution to this nation. And thanks to the again all participants and our today's speaker, Dr. Mehta sir. Now you may leave all, and I will stop this webinar today. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Kamal Mehta, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.